The United States has a $37 trillion debt. It's going to be $40 trillion soon. If you're wanting evidence of this, go to the website usdebtclock.org. Some of you are going to vote in the midterm elections in the year 2026. Now, you should vote every eligible single politician out that doesn't understand how to reduce the debt or how the debt became $37 trillion. If the politicians don't want to talk about the massive debt, vote in somebody that knows about the legal tender laws. The prices of things have doubled or tripled in the last 4 years. And if you're politicians and you don't understand this, then you need to start waking up and stop listening to the people in the media and the charlatans on YouTube who say the printing of money. It's the legal tender laws that allow for all the inflation to exist. I'm one of the few people that's explaining the subject of money and the legal tender laws. The legal tender laws allow for this situation of inflation to permanently exist. Fractional reserve banking in 1913, along with the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, is part of the main problem. The economics textbooks don't explain the immorality of fractional reserve banking along with the legal tender laws. They purposely leave out information in your economics books. The most important law that you should read up on is the Coinage Act of 1792, Section 20, that defines the word dollar and is unknown to almost everyone. I'm one of the few people that is explaining the subject money based on the work that has not been surpassed by anybody today. Merrill Jenkins, who wrote the book Money, the Greatest Hoax on Earth. His book is on Amazon and eBay and whatever. He's on a couple of YouTube channels. He's passed away. He's isn't alive. I'm going to teach you about his book and show you more information about the subject money so you don't get fooled again. Like the song by the group Who, we don't get fooled again. Because they're trying to fool us again to get us onto a global fractional reserve system with the IMF World Bank. So let's continue here. Some of you need to stop listening to the people on YouTube that are saying that money is becoming worthless. It is worthless. We have worthless money. It's not becoming worthless. It is worthless, and this was allowed through the legal tender laws, which I'll explain to you and have explained in some of my other videos. We are incapable of uniting, and they've discovered a person that has. Let me see here. We're incapable of uniting. There's an incredible video by Dr. Shiva. Look the video up on YouTube called "The Swarm," and he'll explain almost how all the media and then the people in the government are there to distract you and keep you from uniting. It's an excellent video. Today, what the people stand for don't stand for anything, but they stand for nothing. They used to stand for the Bible and the Ten Commandments and morals. There was a set of rules that to live by, and people don't have any rules to live by at all. They're living by worthless money, and they think that the politicians in both political parties will solve your problem. Those both politicians from both parties are just trying to make a lot of money. Ask Google how much wealth do these politicians have. It's ridiculous. The goal of these people is to get you on a digital fake money system, which I can't explain in this video, but this whole thing about money is fraudulent, and the people are supposed to create the wealth, in my view. They're supposed to create the wealth of the nation and the wealth of their communities. The people are supposed to be the wealth creators, not passing this on through the banking system. The government is in collusion with the banking system to keep you dependent upon their worthless paper and their worthless numbers. So the people are supposed to be the wealth creators, but you keep letting these people distract you and present you incorrect information in the media and on YouTube. That's why I keep repeating Merrill Jenkins. You can't refute any of his knowledge, and he's got most of it in the book. And he's wrote a few books. The main one is Money, the Greatest Hoax on Earth. Money, the Greatest Hoax on Earth. Look it up or purchase one. Today, we are dependent upon electricity to move money around. We have phones and apps in our phone, and we use computers, and we really don't move money. How many people use the paper anymore? We just change the numbers in the account. I'll repeat again, we just change the numbers in the bank accounts. And the paper is just a reflection of the number in the bank accounts ledgers at the Federal Reserve and the commercial banks. I know that's hard for you to grasp, but you're going to have to grasp that if you want to look up my other videos. Will explain it. We don't move money around. We don't exchange money. We just change the numbers in the accounts. I'll repeat it again. We just change the numbers in the bank accounts, and we don't send money. We just change the numbers. We use a tech device that sends a signal to the other person's computer, and it just changes the number. Nothing, no numbers are sent. Okay, the public has been intentionally dumbed down by compulsory education. The main book to read is the book Dumbing Us Down by John Taylor Gatto. He was a teacher of the year in New York, and he explains how this uh, terrible situation with compulsory education has created a bunch of wage slave employees. Um, and he explains the solution to educate your children. There are others also. We are not here to be employees for some corporation. We are here to be self-sufficient, functioning individuals, as the Amish people are in the areas of Pennsylvania and Ohio and whatnot. We're not here to be somebody's employee. That's what school did. It's created a functioning wage slave. The Amish are self-sufficient without electricity. We don't need to abandon all of our technology, but can't be dependent upon electricity that somebody else can create and shut down for extended period of time. Our financial system is dependent upon electricity and exchanging numbers. If the people somebody really wanted to wreck our economy, they'd shut the electricity down. So the understanding money is the next great awakening of humanity. Some of you just can't. Some of you can just go along and stay ignorant. That's your right to do so. But there's a percentage of people that want to be self-sufficient and not let the government run up a $40 trillion debt and cause the prices to double and triple. If I asked people who owns the planet, and almost everyone responds by stating, we the people own the planet, but can't explain why we are supposed to pay to live on planet Earth. They don't know. Well, it sure sounds good. We don't really own the planet and we really aren't slaves. Yes, we are slaves economically. We need to get rid of all the politicians, or 99% of them, and vote in new people into public office that understand the subject money or have common sense. Don't let those people fool you by saying it doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't matter on a local level who you vote for. Immoral and ignorant people are passing immoral and ignorant laws that you are obeying and you and I are obeying. So don't tell me it doesn't matter whom you vote for. The public doesn't understand what we use as a medium of exchange. We don't use an asset that we create ourselves as a medium of exchange and barter with that wealth. We're supposed to barter. Barter comes first, and you can use something as a medium of exchange. But gold and silver in the exchange is barter. Most people don't understand that. People don't understand who prints up the money, who sells it to whom, and how and why the paper is used. That's why they can easily be conned into listening to those people that's saying the printing of money, or why we're having a $40 trillion debt and the media doesn't want to talk about it. If they don't talk about who creates the money, you don't know what's going on. Your educational system has failed you and me. I'm trying to educate some of you that want to learn and understand. The rest of you can go back to sleep and stay ignorant and watch cat videos on YouTube. I don't really care. I've examined the money issue from many different angles from many people that have hundreds of books about the subject money. And I've learned that the people that say I'm no longer in debt themselves, they don't understand that the entire nation exists in a state of debt or uses debt as money. They think, well, I'm out of debt and everything is fine. Well, that's the country functions in a state of debt. And you've asked these people to explain this and they can't. 99% of the people have no idea what the nation functions using as debt as money, which is ridiculous. The way out of this ignorance is to ask the question, how does the supply of money increase? Once you can get them into the conversation about how money increases, then you can get somewhere. But until then, you cannot listen to the people that don't want to educate themselves. They don't want to know, some don't know what they're talking about, and they have no idea what's going on with the financial system or the legal tender laws, or how the economic books are printed up and then not explaining the whole situation. What is crazy is the parents are not educating the children about the money laws and the money system, and it's a travesty of justice and reality. It's terrible that children are watching smartphones and social media and they're not learning about the subject money. The children are unconsciously the children unconsciously know that there's something wrong about with their parents and the subject money. The children can't explain it. And they know that prices have tripled, that the housing is unaffordable, and most of them know that there's something wrong when they say they're printing of money. They know everything has gotten expensive and it wasn't always like this. They intuitively know something is wrong and they don't have the knowledge to explain it or how to get out of this situation. Well, I hope that the children learned a little bit and then they won't have to pass it on to their children.